Once upon a time, in Storybook Ending, the speakers went to the home of Annabella, the missing postal service worker, taking Jojo with them to investigate. They found her house empty and messy, with clear signs that she hadn't been there in a couple of weeks. When they entered her bedroom, however, they found it neat and tidy, with a paperback book on the bed. Viola picked up this copy of Aesop's Fables, and the speakers were all sucked into it. Hello and welcome to Storybook Ending. My name is Loxley. I use V, Veer, or they, them pronouns, and I will be your keeper of stories. With me today is Addie.
My name is Addie, the player. I use she, her pronouns, and I play the character Margie Gloucester, who also uses she, her pronouns.
We also have Danny.
I'm Danny, and I'll be playing Viola Thomas. Both of us use she, her pronouns.
Next we have Killian.
Hey there, I'm Killian. I use they, them pronouns, and I play Tabs the Fox, who uses he, they pronouns.
And lastly, Grim.
My name is Grim. I use any pronouns you throw at me, and my character, Orion Murrah, does the same.
We see a forest. It's beautiful in the way that only nature can be. We see a small home in the forest. And we zoom in, and we zoom in, and we zoom in until we are in a small hole at the floor. And we see a few mice. Well, at first appearance they seem to be mice, but as we get closer they resolve their image into that of rather mice-like humans. And then we pan over to the side and we see 4 speakers. The mice are chitter-chattering and having a sort of town hall debate. One of them says, "Well, what are we gonna do about the cat?" And they all kind of clamor and they all kind of talk over each other. And then one of them, a very young-looking mouse-ish human, I'm gonna keep saying that, guys. A very young-looking human says, "I have an idea." And everyone turns to them and seems kind of doubtful, and they say, "What if, hear me out, we put a bell on the cat's neck, and then when we hear the bell ringing, we will know immediately that our enemy is coming?" The mice all seem very surprised. How had they never thought of this? But then, in the midst of their rejoicing over their great plan and great fortune, an older mouse person, they're as a group they're referred to as the mice. That's just like their gang name. Okay. The older mouse person says, "I will say that the plan of the young mouse is very good, but let me ask one question. Who will bell the cat?" And then they just sort of freeze, and then they all slowly look at you 4. What do you do as you sort of come to terms with what is happening? What the fuck is happening?
Oh dear. Do I have the book with me, or did it disappear as we got sucked into it?
You do not have the book with you.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm just really, I'm like imagining like really, really realistic human-like mice. Are they the speaker's height? Like,
Yes, you are the
oh, that is so...
you are the size of mice, although the mice are humanoid. human-ish.
Oh my god.
You are the size of the mice in a little mouse hole in the wall.
Right. Well, wait, there are 4 of us. Oh, that means... Well, the good news is that there's no Jojo then.
At least not with us.
Right, Aesop's Fables, Aesop's Fables. Those were always about a moral. Do we have a moral for this one?
A more. I cannot get over the fact that they're mice.
Yeah, no, that that is a thing. But we've seen stranger things like the flying monkeys.
Yeah, but
Yeah, no, wolves made of words.
Yeah.
My vote is to just get on with it and bell this cat.
Wait, is that? Oh. So you think we should just do what they ask, rather than try to figure out? Okay. I thought maybe that we needed to just like come up with the morals. Oh.
Well, we could try that. I don't know what moral there would be to belling a cat.
okay. One second. Hold on. Let me get this straight. Where she kind of just talks to the mice people here. You're telling me that you want to be able to hear your enemy because the bell would make the sound? But how are you gonna put the bell on your enemy if the bell is what makes people know you're coming? Like, wouldn't your enemy know that you're coming because you have the bell first?
I didn't really think about that, to be honest. I just thought I had a clever idea. Yes, that is kind of my point, is that it would be very difficult to do. So,
Oh, that's the moral of the story. That good plans aren't always as easy to execute as they seem.
you sort of put that out into the universe, and nothing seems to happen.
Okay, great.
And they kind of are all still staring at you. Like, I was kind of hoping you would be the one to bell the cat. You're new here.
Just sacrificing one for the greater good, I suppose.
That's a terrible moral. Are you kidding me?
Well, I never said I was good at this.
Yeah, the mice start infighting. They start accusing each other of being like, you need to be the one to bell the cat. I'm not sacrificing myself. No, you are the one. You're the quietest. You have the most chance of survival. But also, I don't like you. And they are just kind of clamoring over each other and yelling at each other.
Oh goodness. All right.
Wait a second. And Marjorie's gonna butt in again, of course. And she goes, Why does it have to be a bell? Can you have, I suppose, a lookout? Aren't you? No, you know your enemy. Like, I don't understand why it has to be a bell. Can't you just be, I don't know, vigilant? Have somebody look out and ring your own bell? Be like, oh no, here comes the enemy.
Well, wouldn't ringing our own bell just alert the cat to us further?
Oh, well, it was just an idea. At least I'm doing that instead of, I don't know, condemning my friends to die. I think that's a terrible moral.
No, she has a point.
Well, we could try to help them, I suppose, by belling the cat.
I don't think it'd be a bad idea to at least try it.
All right. Well, mice, where do we find this cat of yours?
Well, if we could just find wherever they are at any given time, that would make it a lot easier to know how to dodge them.
Right. Yes.
You're gonna have to look for them.
Okay. Let me let me do the question a little bit better. Where do you normally run into this cat? Is it an indoor cat? Is it an outdoor cat? Does it stay near this whatever we're in?
I suppose it's usually near like the kitchen.
All right. Then we'll go to the kitchen and look.
Okie dokie, says the mouse person. And yeah, the closer you look, the weirder and stranger the mice people look. I said it resolved into something more human. It's not quite resolved. they just look weird. But again, I'd say they're more human than they are animal.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not liking this too much.
They are just straight up not mouse girl, not mouse boys. They gotta be the weird looking ones.
I think just because she's feeling rather uncomfortable with these most people, Viola's going to summon Snooky.
Oh.
Oh, is Snooky huge?
I would love to know.
And also vaguely concerning to look at.
That is a great question. I think that's really funny if Snooky is the size of you now.
We have a steed!
No, I don't want to say Snooky is also a humanoid because that would be a little weird.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, no, you just have a human-sized mouse, or rather, you are mice-sized humans. And
Goodness.
Snooky says, "Well, hello there, Viola. Where are we? What the hell are those? Oh, sorry for cursing.
I think those are mice.
No, the hell they aren't."
Fuck no, Viola! I know what a mouse is!
Uh,
Put that evil on me.
Viola just sort of gently pets Snooky's head. No, I think they're supposed to be mice in this Aesop's fable. Do you remember when we used to look at all those Renaissance paintings of like the cats that had people faces because people in the Renaissance didn't know how to paint cats? I think this is kind of like that.
Those were scary for a couple of reasons for me.
Well, yes. And this is, I think, almost equally as unsettling. But boy, it's good to see you in a right mouse form.
Oh, the horrors of that! If my body was transmutated into something so horrific,
I know, sweetie.
I just wouldn't like that.
Well, I will keep that in mind, and I won't. I'll do my best not to let that happen to you.
Gee, thanks. I love you, Viola.
Oh, I love you too, Snooky.
While this wholesome scene is happening, I think Tabs is going to get the bell and like try to find this cat, like kind of take the lead to try and trudge on and get through the story.
I feel like the bell has got to be pretty big. Maybe like beach ball size. So it's decently heavy. It might take a couple of you to move it with any speed.
I'm just dragging it by its chain, by the little
Fair enough.
ribbon that's on. Well, until we figure out this moral of the story, let's try to bell this cat.
Is the bell making sound as Tabitha drags it along?
I'd say the floor is decently even, but every now and then it'll hit kind of a bump or like twist in a weird way and make a little bit of sound. But it's moving slowly enough that it's not like jingling all over the place.
Right. Well, to the kitchen, I suppose. Snooky, be careful. There is a cat here.
Oh no.
Don't worry. We'll take care of you.
So are all four of you? I guess five of you with Snooky. Is Snooky coming with you?
I think probably. Quietly and carefully.
Yeah. All right. So are all five of you then going to the kitchen, or are some of you staying behind? What's the plan here?
I think. Okay, I know it's a bad time to be splitting up, but Margie wants to know if there are any sleepy aids that she can potentially drug the cat with.
Oh my god. Okay.
Aristocats moment.
Sleepy aids. Okay.
You know what you might want to look for?
Maybe not. Maybe not. She can. I don't know. Speak that out into the world, to the group, and they're like, yeah.
You might want to look for perhaps some catnip. Doesn't that do good things to make cats distracted?
Do we want the cat to be distracted as we're putting the bell on it? I'm sorry. I do feel a little bit clueless. See, I have a lazy dog, not necessarily a lazy cat.
Well, and I have a mouse, so I think we're probably the worst ones to come up with a plan here.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the cat could be sleeping in the other room. We could get lucky.
Oh, that's true.
We just have to be quiet whenever we enter the kitchen.
All right, let's go with plan A. Cross our fingers.
All right, you exit the mouse hole in the wall, and the proportions of this place are dizzying. You know, I'm sure some of you have seen, and probably not Tabs, but some of you have seen in movies with weird size stuff, whether it be more recent movies like Ant-Man or like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids or something even older. Not that Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is super old, but point is, it's much different when you're in person. It's a little dizzying, it's a little disorienting, but you quickly manage to regain your bearings and start trekking across this, to you, massive home. You can see the kitchen in the distance. It's not much, it's very modest. And again, this isn't like a modern kitchen with a, you know, there's like a sort of, what's the word? Like a furnace type oven? Is it a Dutch oven? Is that a thing?
That is a pot type thing, so.
I know what you're talking about, though.
But like an old-fashioned oven, like a wood-burning stove sort of oven.
Yes, wood burning stove. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. So yeah, it's not like you're in a modern kitchen with like a smart fridge or something. That would be kind of wild. Not that the rest of this isn't wild. But you see no sign of the cat so far. Would one of you like to roll a check to see if you can figure out where the cat is?
Yes. Yes, let's see if we can figure out where the cat is.
All right. How are you? What impulse would you like to roll?
I'm feeling reason.
That makes sense to me.
It just, logic out where the cat would be, smell around for, cats smell weird, right? I don't know.
For sure.
I'm a dog person, so.
All right. So roll your 3d6. This will be an average difficulty of 4.
There we go.
Oh no!
Oh.
I got a 3? That's not good enough, is it?
You got a 1, 2 2s, and a 3. Okay. Yeah, I think instead of having an immediate consequence, I think there's no sign of the cat. The cat might be outside, maybe. Maybe it's just hunting outside. There's probably nothing to worry about. Maybe you did get lucky.
We're not lucky, though. We're never lucky.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Storybook Ending. I won't take too much of your time here. First, I want to ask you to leave a rating and review. Totally optional, but if you don't, I will send 3 Christmas ghosts after you tonight, so your choice. You can also share the show with your friends. Word of mouth is the best way to spread the fun, after all. I hope you're enjoying the shorter weekly episodes. The next one comes out on New Year's Day, so that's kind of wild. If you want to chat with the cast and other fans, join us on the Actual Place. That's a Discord server with a ton of great actual play shows, including Storybook Ending. I think that's all, so happy holidays and enjoy the rest of the show.
Well, I don't see the cat anywhere.
I think Margie sort of wants to get higher. She wants to maybe be able to climb up into the kitchen counter and look for actual entrances.
Okay, that is going to be quite the feat without a spell of some sort.
Yeah.
I think if you cast LIT Light, you could definitely get up there without any consequence.
Any consequence? Oh boy. I don't have that spell, but I think I'm going to go to make a spell, actually.
What impulse do you think you want to roll with?
I think I want to... Before I do that, actually, may I spend some potential points to increase my impulses before I make a spell?
Yes, you can increase any impulse by 1 level per session. So you can only do 1 point, but it would still be helpful.
Yeah, because I only have 1 in daring right now, and I would like to get it to 2 to up my chances.
Okay. Yeah, you can spend 3 potential points to up that to 2. And then you're rolling with daring?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with daring.
Alright, let's go to the spell generator.
And what do you know? L-I-T. Lit.
The comeback of the century! So you only got 5 letters, which isn't ideal.
I think I might go with L-I-T, lit, just because of how versatile
Yeah!
it is. Oh boy. Okay,
So,
daring.
sorry, are you doing lit or light?
Light.
Like misspelling light.
Misspelling.
Okay.
Oh boy. From all that Margie's been through, I'm actually surprised that she is not scared of heights.
Let me check here.
Damn, wait, Locksley.
Hmm?
Could TP have worked as teleport? Or is that pushing it? Because I do use TP to mean teleport when I'm like playing video games and stuff, but
Would Margie though?
yeah, Margie wouldn't. She's too busy to play video games. Come on, Margie.
She's playing life on hard mode.
Yep. Okay. Alrighty, I'm gonna roll with 2 daring to get up there.
Actually, for this, I don't think you need to roll. I think there's just going to be the side effect, but it is going to get you up there because you did cast a spell.
Okay. Yeah, Margie shares with the crew her plan. She's like, "This is too much. I'm gonna go up there," and she points to the kitchen counter and says, "I'm gonna go up there and make sure like there really is no cat around, cause I just need to be able to check all entrances, and I can't do that all the way down here as small as I am."
All right, and then you cast the spell light, L-I-T.
Yep.
What were you thinking this looks like, so I can know what kind of side effect to give you?
Oh, that I have an image in my mind, but it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. She kind of just goes up to the corner of the kitchen counter, and she like kind of like takes a deep breath. And as she's taking a deep breath, she's like lifting her arms up and stuff, and like just making herself feel lighter.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't really know how to describe it. It's supposed to look like sort of graceful, you know, so like her hand starts at like her hips, and she kind of just like slowly raise them up, like brushes against like her body and try to like get into like, you are light, do the light, be the light.
For sure. For sure. I think what we're going to go with is that the magic gets a little bit confused by your misspelling. You do start floating up, but light, even in the version you were going for, does have a couple meanings. I think you start to glow rather brightly.
Yeah,
which
I anticipate
might make it kind of hard to be sneaky.
That is okay. Is the kitchen light on actually, or are they just kind of sneaking in the middle of the night?
I think it's probably daytime, so there's light coming in from the windows.
Okay, so it's not that big of a deal that she's glowing. It's like turning on a lamp when the window's like wide open. Like that, I don't. Yeah.
It's not like you're immediately drawing all the attention in the building to you.
No.
It's just if something's in the room looking around, it's more likely to see you.
Okay, that is fine. You know what? That is fine, because if the cat notices her and begins to give chase, she'll just cast another spell.
All right.
I don't think Margie, like, in her mind, she's like, this isn't real. Like, she's not making the assumption that whatever happens to her in the fable will translate into real life. So that definitely, like, contributes to her confidence doing this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get any ideas, Loxley.
All right, you float up. You sort of raise your hands up and make yourself lighter, and you float up onto the kitchen counter. From here, you can see a lot more. I think. Oh boy, because Viola did fail her check to notice the cat.
Yep.
I think you do see the cat, and it is prowling closer to the other three speakers and Snooky. It's behind them. They don't seem to have noticed it yet, but it has come up from behind.
Are they
where you were coming from?
Okay. So they're looking at me and I'm looking behind them at the cat?
I don't know if they're necessarily looking at you, but they're looking forward, and the cat is behind them.
Okay.
It's not like right up on them yet,
It's not okay.
but it is getting closer.
Well, first of all, I want to say why the heck isn't the party looking at me? I just did an incredible feat. Cause she kind of like Wait a second. Did Margie float up instead of climbing up?
I assume that's what you're going for, or were you going for something else?
Oh, no. I was assuming that she would make herself light enough to, like, literally climb up the kitchen counter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that works then. We can go back and say that you just made it a lot easier for yourself to climb, because there aren't like a lot of footholds, but when you're that light, it's a lot easier.
I think this is gonna be really funny. I want to say that she goes back down halfway, so she's not on the ground just yet.
Mm-hmm.
She whispers to them and goes, "Behind you! Behind you!" I can't do the whisper shout thing in her accent, but she does that.
Oh good. It's probably best not to whisper too much anyways, just for the audio listeners' sake.
Yeah.
The rest of you, I don't want to speak for you and say that you're looking at Margie, but she is doing something pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just barely hear her whisper shouting.
I think Margie does the first whisper shout to get their attention. Once she sees that somebody's looking at her, she points behind them. She jabs her finger into the direction behind them and then gives a very exaggerated thumbs down.
Well, I think Viola knows Margie well enough to figure out that she needs to look behind her because something bad is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you turn around and you see for the split second a regular cat. And then you kind of blink and it's suddenly just a very, very large, compared to you, humanoid with very feline features. Oh god, it's so tempting to say that they look like Edward with a little lion get up. But no, I can't do that. But no, you just see this human who is several sizes larger than you. And it is sort of prowling toward you, crouched down.
Viola's going to click her pen a couple of times and cast Decoy.
Okay. I can guess, but what is the specific goal here?
To create another mouse creature that will go closer to the cat and then zag away at the last moment, hopefully leading the cat away from us.
Okay. I think this is going to be an attack, because you're going to be affecting kind of the spirit of the overall cat in general, trying to get it down so that you can, it represents more than just damaging it, but also distracting it and getting its sort of spirit down. So it is going to roll a quick defense. Just 2d6. Oh my god, it rolled a 6.
Oh, okay, well,
I don't know why my luck is this way. Yo!
But Viola rolled a 6 as well.
Hell yeah.
And a 5.
5 and a 6. Okay. Yeah, this decoy, you said is it an actual mouse, or is it a mouse person, or what kind of are you going for?
I think she's going for a real mouse, because if the cat person looked like a cat briefly, she's hoping that it will recognize a mouse as much as it'll recognize a mouse person.
Fair enough. Yeah, this and again, this decoy is about the size of y'all. about the size of Snooky in this form. And you said it scurries towards the cat and then zags away?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that works. And the cat kind of freezes in place as the mouse gets closer and sort of readies to pounce. And then the mouse zags away and it turns and just starts sprinting. It's a very unnerving, the way that this cat person is sprinting, like a human runner, but also kind of like that energy coiled in its legs. However, I don't know. I think you probably realize this distraction isn't going to last too long.
Yeah.
So you should probably act fast. What are Tabs and Orion doing?
Well, that's chasing away the thing that we need to bell to, so...
Right, but that's better than it eating us.
Yeah, true. Double-edged sword, kinda.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think if there's any spell that I could cast to try and bell this cat. Or, like, make belling this cat easier.
I mean, you can always cast a new spell if none of your permanent spells work.
Yeah. Could I make a spell, or with just that vague of a goal of trying to bell this cat?
I think you can. I think that with something that vague, it might just be a slightly harder difficulty. But I think you can definitely... If your goal is just to get this bell on that cat, I think that's a good enough goal for a spell.
Okay. Would daring be decent for something like this? Since we know the cat was...
If you're willing to put yourself in danger for it, then yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like I have to get in close to, do that, so...
Yeah.
46 for me for daring. Oh, I got a lot of shit.
Ooh, that's a very nice spread of letters. It's what, 17 of them?
Mm-hmm. I think so. Feel free to give me suggestions. I'm just throwing shit out.
Okay.
I have too many letters to look at. Oh, bling is fun.
Okay, this is gonna be a stretch. Like a very, but hear me out. Dart, and in parentheses, trank.
Shrink.
You don't have enough letters to do the one in parentheses, but the dart is meant to be a tranquilizer dart.
That might be too much of a stretch, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dart.
You've got enough
Um,
letters to bling it or ring it.
Bling it. That is really funny.
God, I don't know.
You do train and you hold out a little treat and say, sit! Good boy.
Train it.
Yeah.
Would any of this actually narratively work, Loxley, or are we just...
I think you have a couple good options, yeah.
Okay.
It's up to you what you want to do.
I really think the Blinket's kind of fun, but I also don't think the Tabs would know that slang, so...
Fair enough.
You could go with ring it, as in, like, make the bell ring on it.
Maybe that's what I was kind of thinking, to be honest.
Or even, like, get the bell on a ring around its neck.
Ring it around the neck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Definition of ring as a verb is surround someone or something, especially for protection or containment. So that definitely works.
Then let's do ring it.
All right. So this will be a roll.
Would I just have one dice for this?
No, you would have the amount of dice you rolled for the spell
Okay.
originally. But before you roll, I gotta roll the defense. I only got a 1 and a 3 that time, so I think you might be good to go. Yeah.
Yay.
Cool. 1, 3, 4, 6.
Nice.
I think the cat pretty quickly tires of the decoy and turns back towards you and kind of eyes you all up and down. And then, Tabs, what does this spell look like?
I want to say that like a wisp of golden magic encompasses like the ribbon that the bell is on, as well as the bell itself, and kind of like cast it across the room to wrap around the cat's neck and tie it in like a little pretty bow behind its neck.
Yeah, I think that happens, and the scene sort of freezes. And we hear the moral of this story. Who wants to say what the moral is? just making shit up based on what you have done.
Oh.
Moral of the story is that if there's a problem, it can only be solved if you do something about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Moral of the story, complaining about something will not solve the thing.
Through action, you can accomplish anything.
Yeah.
I honestly, that feels pretty in line with a lot of these morals, except makes a little more sense. So I dig that. Do you want to say that in character? Or is it just something you're thinking?
I think Margie, I don't even know if the party would be able to hear her, but she's like puts her hands on her head. She's like, well, that's the moral of the story. You can't do shit if you sit on your ass.
Amazing.
You say this moral, and the universe seems to think about it, and then there's not like an audible ding or anything like that, but you just feel like the universe kind of accepts it. And I will have Margie roll a special move.
Oh my god.
When you turn the page to a new fable, roll an impulse of your choice, describing how you make use of it to find your way.
Margie goes, now that we solved the cat problem, she's going to, I think, roll impulse of my choice. I don't know, focus, because she is trying to find her friend Annabella.
We were all holding our breath there to see if you would add the final A. All right, yeah. Roll your. Is that 2d6?
Yeah.
Roll your 2d6. Hell yeah! All right, that's a 1 and a 6.
Yep.
All right, so with a 6, if you roll 1 or more 6, add 2 progress to the track per 6. The keeper will describe the helpful, relatively safe new story you find yourself in. All right, Margie, I think you say that, and you kind of focus on your friendship, your camaraderie with Annabella.
Mm-hmm.
And then the world around you starts to shift and turn. It becomes words. And you've seen this on a smaller scale before, but suddenly everything around you is turning to words. And then, kind of uncomfortable, but you all begin to turn to words. It's the words are, there's so many words. You are very complex people. There are enough words there that you can't really pick out any individual thing. But you all turn to words, and then you find yourselves in a new story. It almost feels like you're back at the beginning again, because you find yourselves in a home with some mice people. Some mice that resolve into people. However, there are only 2 of them this time, and you're in a much nicer, bigger, grander home. You're still as small as mice. But you see a mouse person wearing overalls with a straw hat, and you see a much more dapper, fancy mouse person.
Oh.
I know this one.
With a fine suit on. And they are kind of gesturing to each other. But that's not what really catches your eye. And it's not the table with a feast of leftovers that are human-sized, meaning that they are gigantic to you. There are mountains of pudding and pools of porridge. No, it's the entirely human person you see kind of squatting over a giant piece of chicken. And Annabella looks up at you with a crazed look in her eyes. And then she drops to all fours and starts sprinting at you.